Hello and welcome. Carbon Barbecue designs and manufactures picnic and barbecue cooking and serving accessories, and we have pledged to offset any carbon emissions in the production process. Our products have become extremely popular, and we are proposing an expansion of Carbon Barbecue into New Caledonia to try and help meet demand. Carbon Barbecue's justification for outsourcing to New Caledonia is due to many factors, such as access to international markets. As New Caledonia is a French territory, it will offer Carbon Barbecue a route into the European Union, one of the world's biggest economies, with a GDP of $17 trillion. Another reason for Carbon Barbecue to outsource is cost effectiveness. The New Caledonian minimum wage is $10 USD, while the Australian minimum wage is $12.91 USD. Outsourcing manufacturing would have an approximate decrease in labour costs of 22.5%. The intended reason for Carbon Barbecue sourcing manufacturing internationally is due to it becoming too expensive to do so here in Australia. It is at least 30% more expensive to manufacture in Australia than most other countries. This is due to increasingly higher production costs, rising energy costs, and the continual rise of the minimum wage, which just increased by another 3.5% this year.
With the assistance of Australian Trade and Investment Commission, the US Trade Assistance Service, which Carbon Barbecue can leverage on this service to help export utensils that are mass-produced in New Caledonia. Also, with Australia being a part of RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, Australia can move to 16 Asian countries like Vietnam.
Based upon the decision to enter the European market, Carbon Barbecue is implementing a direct exporting strategy. As the company is setting up their own warehousing, selling directly to end users makes the business responsible for market research, marketing, distribution, warehousing, customer and sales service, and billing. This allows for higher levels of control over the company at an international level. Due to setting up warehousing and manufacturing, the business can imitate a similar entry strategy to that of Kogan, where they export straight from their warehouse to the customer, eliminating extra costs whilst allowing Carbon Barbecue to maintain more of the profit. The general idea of direct exporting is that you have greater control over sales and to interact directly with clients. Direct exporting has seamless advantages such as greater profits, greater control, develops a stronger understanding of the marketplace, and protection of your trademarks, patents, and copyrights. As the business develops in the Asian market, greater flexibility is produced. This allows Carbon Barbecue to improve or redirect marketing efforts. Having set up manufacturing in Asia allows us to have cheaper labour costs whilst charging the same price in the local market. This will increase local profit margins, which will assist in generating revenue in the new market.
Carbon Barbecue's proposed operational structure will consist of two separate operations for each country, each with different management. This is due to New Caledonia having different manufacturing, tax and labour laws such regulations. Our current structure for Australia won't be the most efficient operation in New Caledonia due to this.
Australia is characterised by its high degree of masculinity, resulting in an emphasis on success and achievement. A strong focus is placed on developing and striving to win in not only business but all aspects of life. This is vastly different to New Caledonia's feminine culture, which prioritises a healthy work-life balance that promotes quality of life. This could present issues in the form of conflicting goals and priorities between the organisation and employees. A significant challenge of any international business venture is the presence of a language barrier. The official language of New Caledonia is French. Therefore, it would be vital for a member of Carbon Barbecue to be fluent in French. If not, then a translator would need to be hired to ensure proper communication and negotiation between the two regions. All members, however, would need to attempt to learn French out of respect to New Caledonian employees. Our decision-making process is characterised by ethical business practices, which will ensure sustainable operations. All aspects of manufacturing and production in New Caledonia will continue to minimise environmental harm by offsetting emissions. This will be achieved whilst implementing a cost leadership approach which will minimise cost and maximise production. When an organisation decides to operate internationally, it is imperative they are aware of the laws, regulations and trade agreements of that country. The repercussions of failing to have a thorough understanding of these laws could ultimately result in the demise of business operations. Carbon Barbecue will need to be aware of these regulations to ensure safe and efficient processes.
In terms of language barrier, Carbon Barbecue should not repeat the mistake of Volkswagen, which is Volkswagen Beetle got invited to former Soviet Union to help produce the Beetles domestically, but they declined the offer due to language barrier and culture differences. If they accepted the offer, they would have become the cultural symbol of Russia.
One of the main points of differentiation regarding the carbon barbecue accessories is the fact that they are carbon neutral. With environmental health being one of the most important issues facing society today, it makes sense to continue the carbon neutral program when establishing operations in New Caledonia. Consumers' attitudes towards products that have a label detailing how the product becomes carbon neutral are more positive than products offering a simple calculation of the fee required. This will continue to give carbon barbecue products a level of uniqueness in existing markets, while helping to drive market penetration of new markets. Job losses occurring when moving manufacturing to New Caledonia may prove unavoidable, potentially leading to the need for severance packages. Unless staff members being made redundant are of retirement age, many will be forced to look for new employment. This can be a stressful time with many people struggling to find employment in similar industries. Rather than simply offering staff a wage-based severance package, an educational package may be offered to help newly redundant staff upskill. The groups most likely to take up the educational severance packages are younger, single employees who do not require the level of financial security as their older counterparts. When companies establish production facilities in a foreign country, local businesses can be concerned with how their economy will be impacted. Carbon Barbecue's ideology when entering New Caledonia is to employ locals and, if possible, source materials from existing local businesses. This ensures proper corporate social responsibility. Work will be undertaken to allow a sustainable manufacturing relationship to be developed with New Caledonia and its population.
Since CSR has captured and retained the attention of investors and has made sustainability and triple bottom line one of their main concern, doing this well would mean that securing future investment funds for future expansions would be a lot easier. An example of that would be to donate a certain amount of sales revenue to New Caledonian community.
Carbon Barbecue continues to focus on offsetting all carbon emissions produced by the manufacturing of barbecue equipment. Our strategy of moving manufacturing to New Caledonia is going to make our organisation far more profitable if successful, based off of the information presented in this video. Currently, Carbon Barbecue is valued at $10 million. It is predicted that our entry into international markets will double profits within the next 5 years. To set up manufacturing in New Caledonia, we are requesting $2.5 million, giving you a 5% stake in the business.